All right, these are the video directions of how to do pages 3, 4, 5, and 6. So it looks like a lot of information, but I'm going to go over what you do for each page. So on page 3, on step number 1, it says watch the video. So you're going to click on this play button to watch the video about what characterization or what steal means. After you watch the video, you're going to go to step number 2. Step number 2 says notes. Okay, it says, why do we use characterization? What is the purpose? So inside this text box, you'll click underneath where it says, what is characterization? There is a text box. And then you would type what your notes are based on what you learned from the video, what characterization is. Now, this has to be in your own words. So if you search on Google and copy and paste, okay, I will know because I can figure things out like that. Pretty cool like that. So make sure in your own notes you're using what characterization is. You can use bullet points. So if you decide that characterization is, and you type your answer here, you can go up to the top where it says bulleted list, and you can make bullet points of telling me what characterization is. You're creating your own type of notes based on what characterization means and what the purpose is. Now, after you're done with page 3, we go to page 4. Page 4 is characterization, your steal notes. So you're creating notes based on the steal method. So on step number 3, it says watch the video to learn more about how to use steal, S-T-E-A-L. So you click on this video, and as you're watching the video, you're going to figure out what goes in each of these orange boxes. So what that means is when you watch the video, it's going to tell you what the S stands for, what the T means, what the E means, the A, and the L. So inside each orange box, you're going to write the rest of the word for what steal means. And I will do the first one for you. So the first S, based on both the videos, is either going to be says or it might be speech. And remember, if you cannot fit in there, you're just going to make the font smaller so then it fits, just like that. So as you go along and you figure out what each of S-T-E-A-L means, you're going to type it in the text box next to it. And you're going to create your own notes to show you that you understand the steal method. Now, after you fill out each 5 of these orange boxes, you're going to go to step number 5. Okay, you are going to drag and match. So you have 5 set of notes underneath that you can drag and match. You're going to match the definition to the correct orange word to show the meaning correctly. So what that means is, so this one said the first S means says. You're going to find the green definition of what says or speech means. So does it mean what the character does physically, mentally, or emotionally? No, because when you say something, that means you're speaking or your speech. Is it what a character says out loud in a story or the dialogue? Yes. So I'm going to click, drag, and match, put it in the orange box to show that I know what matches to says and the definition for it. And I'm going to do the same thing for the next 4 and dragging and matching to what matches to what's in the orange box. That is what you do for page 4. Now, for page 5, we're going to rewatch The Colors of Evil. I accidentally moved the video to the side, so you can always drag the video back to the front, or if yours is in the front, that's okay. That's perfect. You're going to click on the play button. You're going to watch The Colors of Evil again. That's step number 1. As you're watching The Colors of Evil, so before you watch it, you are going to think of Nancy. Nancy is the antagonist. She's the blonde. You are going to figure out what type of person she is. How would you describe her based on her speech, based on how she thinks, based on her effects, based on her actions, and based on her looks. So what you're going to do is rewatch the video again and then come back and do step 2 and then do step 3. Step 2 is you're going to match these 4 orange boxes to the orange boxes on page 5 to what it means when she says something. Okay, so I've already done one for you. I did thanks for her. We can infer that she thinks she's better than Vivian because based on what she says and based on what we think she thinks about herself. Then that character trait, if she thinks she's better than Vivian, that means she's conceited. And conceited means that you think that you're all that, you think no one is better than you think you have all the best stuff, and you look down on people. So she is conceited. So what you're going to do is take the orange and you're going to read it. And it says that she pushes Vivian down, she trips Vivian, and she gossips on the phone. So where would this match? Are these 3 things that she says? Is it things that she does to her or makes Vivian feel? Is it based on her actions and what she does? Or is it based on her looks? So you will drag and match. If you think it says, you put it for says. If you think it's effects, put it on effects. If you think it's actions, put on actions. And if you think it's looks, you put it on looks. So this one is actually actions because when you push someone, you're doing something to someone else. She trips Vivian at the beginning and gossips. So we're going to put it under actions. When we do that, now we're going to see, well, how would we describe that person based on her actions? What's her character trait? So we're going to go to step number 3, and we're going to drag and match. Okay, I'm going to match the correct characterization trait to the orange, to the green boxes that matches. So we already did thinks, and we said that she was conceited based on what she thinks. Okay, so how would we describe her? What would be her characterization based on pushing Vivian down, tripping Vivian, and gossiping on the phone? Is she hateful? Is she judgmental? Is she vicious? Or is she cruel? Now, if you don't remember or don't know what any of these words mean, okay, you're going to go to Kids Wordsmith, okay, Kids Wordsmith, and you're going to look it up on in the dictionary of what each one of these words mean. Don't guess. Make sure you're taking the step to figure out what a word means. So if you don't know what cruel means, you'll look it up in the dictionary of what cruel means. And cruel means willing to cause pain or suffering. It means causing pain or suffering. And the synonyms are like brutal, savage. She's fierce, okay? So based on what she did, she pushed her. She was causing pain. She wanted her to suffer. So I think based on these actions of what Nancy does, I'm going to drag cruel to the green box to match this character trait to her actions. Then you will do the next 3 on your own, dragging where this one matches to, and then giving me the character trait for that characterization. Okay, last one is step number 6. Okay, and it's independent practice. So I messed up on this one, so hold on one second. So you can see your highlighting is over here, and I'm going to do number 1 with you. Okay, so on number 1, you need to read each of these 3. So you're going to read and analyze. So there's 3 different things to analyze. Using Steele, you will read each paragraph to find the characterization examples. So for number 1, you have an example of something that someone says, of what the character does, and how the character looks. So then you can figure out what type of characterization or character trait this person is based on those 3 things. So when I read number 1, Darren showed up at the wedding ceremony with food stains all over his dress shirt. He sat down, put his feet on the table, and yelled, "Boring." So, I know that there's a dialogue or something that Darren says. I have to find it. So I'm going to click on the highlighter and I'm going to highlight the example and drag it over the text evidence to highlight the text. So I'm going to click on this highlighter, drag it, and he yelled something, and he yelled "boring." So I want to make sure that it matches. And if I need to make it longer, like he yelled it, so I'm going to make this longer and expand it to where I'm highlighting he yelled "boring." All right, then I know he did something like an action. So Darren showed up at the wedding ceremony with food stains all over his dress shirt. He sat down, put his feet on the table, and yelled "boring." Well, what did he do? Well, he put his feet on the table. Do we ever put our feet on the table? Okay, he did that, and I'm making it bigger, and I'm showing that he put his feet on the table, and that describes his actions. Okay, the last thing is we have text evidence that shows how he looks. So Darren showed up at the wedding ceremony with food stains all over his dress shirt. Well, what does he look like? The only thing that says what he looks like is what he's wearing. So he's wearing a dress shirt. But what about his dress shirt? He has food stains all over his dress shirt. So I'm going to highlight that whole thing. So now I have three different text evidence that shows me what type of person he is. So that means he's either right here, you're going to go to step number 6. Now you're going to answer. Using the text evidence that you highlighted for each question, you are going to drag the red box over the correct answer. So Darren is either slobbish or he's lazy. These are two good answers, but there's one best answer based on your text evidence. If you do not know the meaning of a word, what do? You go back and you look it up. If you don't know what a slob is or slobbish is, you'll go back, type in slob or slobbish. You're going to look up slob and see if it matches the text evidence of describing who this person is. So a slob is an untidy, sloppy, or mannerless person. Less means not, so he doesn't have any manners. We know what lazy means. Lazy, we're going to look up lazy, so that way we make sure we know what it means. Lazy means not willing to get much effort or to work, or slow to move or react. Well, he doesn't want to give much effort on the way he looks. That matches that. But does this answer match putting his feet on the table and yelling "boring"? No. So we know the best answer would be slobbish, because remember what slobbish means is untidy, meaning he's not tidy, he's not neat, he's sloppy, or he doesn't have manners. So we're going to take this red box and we're going to hover over and put it over the correct answer to show that you understand the character trait based on the text evidence that you showed in the story. So that's how you're doing pages 3, 4, 5, and 6.